Hi, didn't hear you come in. By now, we should all know this song.
Jesus free.
Tons of airplay, and it's appeared in lots of movies, including Elton John's own biography.
Handing tickets out for God.
Something very obvious if you've heard it more than once is how long it is.
Turning
We're about a minute and a half into the song, and we still haven't come to the big sing-along part. I mean, the mood is still pleasant, and his little riff is fun enough to play for days. But at this point, we're kind of getting our fill. Elton has explored the key we're in pretty thoroughly, and we're ready for a change. Howard Goodall describes a song's key as its center of gravity. In Tiny Dancer's case, we're in C, and you can tell because I haven't touched any of the black notes on the keyboard yet. Everything in the song tends to come back to this point. Now check out how we ramp things up before the chorus. We've shifted centers. It feels more unsettled, shaken up. Elton sounds more excited about this dancer and the moment they're sharing. Our ears are trying to make sense of where we are, so it feels more satisfying when the chorus comes back in.
Tiny dancer.
Hear the effect? We've been pretty chill up till now, but once we changed keys, it's like we can't hold in our emotions anymore. Most commonly in pop music, a song might change keys towards the end to make sure that you're still listening. If you write songs, sure, throw one in, they're exciting. But Elton John's an impatient man. He writes melody on the fly to an oven manual. He's that fast. He'll use modulations throughout his songs, and they contribute a lot more meaning to the words when he does. Plenty of reasons to like this song. Here's Goodbye Yellow Brick Road's center. Everything pulls back to this chord. You might know it as F. Every so often, he'll throw in something exotic outside the key of F to foreshadow.
I should have stayed on the farm. I should have listened to my old man. You know you can't hold me forever.
Now he's repeating the same chord progression to get it in our heads.
I'm not a present for your friends to open.
Now listen as he lifts the same progression into the new key.
The blues.
We lost our tonal center of gravity, but Elton helps ground us with that connection.
So goodbye, yellow brick road, where the dogs of society.
It adds tension and drama and energy to an already lyrical and emotional song.
I'm going back to my plow.
It feels like the choice to go home to the farm and plow is a much more emotional one to make. Much more so than if we had just repeated the same chords in F.
Oh, I'll finally decide where my future lies beyond the yellow brick road.
Here are some other examples of what modulations can illustrate.
You don't love him anymore.
In Cold, he changes keys 3 times a verse,
You threw your rag doll out the door.
and it reflects the back and forth the singer goes through.
Kept my distance. I held my breath. Love always ends up hanging by a thread.
Of whether or not to try winning the girl back.
Love hurts so much. Love leaves a scar. I don't love you is like a stake being driven through your heart. But I don't care. I came back for you. I know it's still just a dream. Your eyes might be green.
There's the chorus of Blessed.
For the bluest that I've ever seen.
where the modulation contrasts his lonely desire for a child
Be blessed.
with the anticipation of what a great father he hopes to be.
And you'll be blessed. You have the best. I promise you that I'll pick a star from the sky.
The one does something cool, where the verse is tonally unstable at love's first sight.
I saw you dancing out the ocean, running fast along the sand. A spirit born of earth and water, fire flying from your hair.
Until love sets in and we settle on a key.
In the instant that you love someone, in the second that the hammer hits,
It's like he's saying love gives you solidarity with something.
reality runs up your spine, and the pieces finally fit. And all ever little like forgetting,
For his musical Billy Elliot,
losing who you are, and at the same time something makes you whole.
electricity's lead in to the chorus modulates twice,
Like that there's a music playing in your ear, and I'm listening.
as Billy explains how dancing is like an out-of-body experience.
Disappear, and then I feel a change, like a fire deep inside, something bursting.
Not every song needs a key change. In fact,
There's a calm surrender.
some of Elton John's most famous work, in The Lion King, doesn't change keys at all. Why wouldn't he want to show off his chops in a Disney feature?
Can be turned away.
He seems to know when a song calls for it.
Enchanted moment, and it sees me through.
In Can You Feel the Love Tonight, there are a few exotic chords,
Just to be with
but
you.
we're firmly grounded in this key
Can you feel the love?
because Simba and Nala feel excited by what they've learned about each other, but they're also at peace.
It is where we.
Some of you might be asking about Circle of Life. In that case, Elton John didn't arrange the version we heard in the movie. His own version of the song released for the radio never modulates,
From the day we arrive on the planet,
but it almost sounds like it does.
and blinking stepped into the sun. There is more to be seen,
The harmonies hint at other places they could take the melody.
more to do than can never be done.
Yeah, that's the chord we heard in Can You Feel the Love Tonight. A chord from outside the key, adding momentum without shaking our foundation.
Some say, live and let live.
It adds an otherworldliness to the song.
But all our
Watch the movie again, and everyone involved realizes this ceremony is bigger than any of them.
You should never take more than you give in the circle of life.
In fact, when the song does change keys in the movie, the clouds have separated, and it looks like someone is looking down on them. Maybe Mufasa's dad.
It's the leap.
So maybe Elton John didn't change keys in this version purely because his baritone range couldn't handle it. Classical composers have used modulations for centuries. It was one of the ways they kept their audience listening because they didn't always have words to fall back on. Music doesn't have to take a backseat to lyrics. With tools like modulations or key changes, it can convey a lot of meaning that words can't express alone. You just have to listen for it. Let me know any questions you might have. Until next time, thanks for listening.